Okay, this is part of a little experiment. These are freshly roasted a couple hours ago. So there should be outgassing CO2. And if they are outgassing, then this bag should puff up with air. Not immediately. We'll see later. And because I'm not totally 100% convinced that the amount of CO2 coming out is an actual thing. That it's more like one of those things that companies have decided that because they're going to roast their coffee, put it in the bags, part of the whole manufacturing process, that's what they need to do because it does off-gas for a little while, but after that it really doesn't. I'm not sure. You know, this is just a little experiment. So we'll see. If this bag doesn't blow up, then there's not a whole lot of CO2 that it's outgassing. Yeah, got some coconuts out of the trees, and now we're going to get the coconut water. Okay, so that was the coconut water I just got out of those, I don't know, what was maybe 10? Maybe 10 coconuts. So, and these are the gold coconuts. The gold coconuts are way sweeter than the green coconuts. Everybody, that's not just my opinion, everybody says that. You know, I've said it before. It's like, okay, the pig thing went great for Exuma. They made a whole. All died. Well, then they died. Then they got some new pigs. But you know, now all of a sudden, you know, there's pigs up at. I think they're over on Carn Island, and you can take a boat ride and over and see the pigs. I don't understand that. Why people? There's just something here that. You can't
think outside of the box.
Right, think outside of the box. If you've seen something else that's been successful, then that's the thing we need to do. And not as opposed to, let's make a whole other thing that, you know, and that'll come into something I'll tell you about later. Brand yourselves, which branding is going to be, in my opinion, coming up a very important thing for businesses, anybody who's doing anything economically has got to do a much better job at branding. So we're going to talk about that a little later. Whoa, look.
All the people? Oh,
now the rainbow. She didn't want to be in the pictures. Anyway, today's Saturday, and you know, I had some basic random thoughts that I was thinking about today. Why? I don't know. That's just the way my head works. One of those, and that came up earlier with the pigs, was branding. And what's Eleuthera going to do about its branding? What are people going to know? I mean, if you think, and the reason I think this branding, it's always been important. Yeah, let me get this. It's a little crooked there. Okay. It's always been important. Like, you could probably go almost any place on the planet and say Coke. And people would say, oh, Coca-Cola. Yeah, they know that. Great. And the reason I think branding is going to become more and more important is that I'm not sure what's exactly going to happen with all the social media stuff. I think it's going to continue, but there's also a chance it may dissipate and fade. Just sort of an oversaturation. So if that scenario were to play out, and you hadn't already as a business or an island, you know, like Eleuthera, branded yourself for a certain thing, not pigs, by the way. Exuma already did that. If you don't have your own unique brand of what you stand for, what you represent, what you produce, all those kind of things that just solidify in your mind what you are, what you do, what you produce, all of that. What happens if that part of the internet disappears and somebody says, oh, I saw a commercial by it was a company that made, oh, I can't remember what it was. Okay? It's like, you know, when I grew up, there was jingles on TV. You know, do you remember Oscar Mayer? What was it?
I wish you was an Oscar Mayer wiener.
Right. You know, there was all those kind of jingles. Oh, 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 oh. The Oreo one. There was all of those that just stuck in your head. And that was branding. I mean, they branded their products and everything else, and you could remember it through a jingle or something. So I think that branding thing is going to be an important thing for businesses to have to work on. And, you know, as we move forward, I realize that a segment of what I'm going to do is actually make coffee. But that's actually a very small segment of what the coffee business will be. The rest will be a whole branding approach to the marketing so that people will start to recognize who we are, what we stand for, what we make, and everything else. So that was one of my... She's making tortillas. That's that funny noise you just heard.
Sorry.
If she doesn't object, I'll show you the tortilla thing after. Okay, here it comes. Ready? Yeah. No Sid in the picture, but that's the tortilla she's making. And she has this press thing. Wait a minute. I'll do that, and then we'll go back to. Okay, so here's the press thing, and you put the thing in there, push this down, push the handle on top of it, and it makes the tortilla, which then turns into a pile of those. Way better than the store ones. Okay, so other random thought. You know, I was just thinking, and this is total feeling. No scientific, no analytical, no nothing. Just total feeling. That I wonder if we're not coming into another period, another down period. You know, we had recession in what, 81, the 90s, 2007, came back at 2009, 2010, and here we are at 2019. This is a relatively long period, so I'm kind of wondering whether something's going to happen, which again ties into that branding thing, because if that does happen, then it'll be even more important that people recognize you and your brand. So that's part of the overall thinking of what I've been playing with today, trying to figure out, okay, how are we going to brand it? What's the coffee business going to be branded like? What are we going to do? All those myriad of things. How are we going to package coffee? You saw my little experiment, you know, because I'm debating how everything is going to all mesh together. Yes, I know I have a house to build and all that kind of stuff, but that's relatively, in my experience, that's minor. Building a house is like, I don't know, it's like walking. You don't have to think about too much of it. I've already done the layout. I've got it all figured out in my head, the trusses, where it's going to go, bathroom, linear drains, radiant heat in the floor. So that's not an issue.
Snow shovel.
Snow shovel, yeah. Snow shovel. Anyway, I just think that, you know, we're coming into a new period in time, and there's going to be some changes. I don't know, like I said, it's just a feeling. But I think we're coming into a period of change, and it's going to be important, more than it's ever been, to be able to stand for something and have people recognize what that is that you're standing for. So that's my sort of random Saturday thoughts for right now. You know, again, it's just, you know, one of those things. Is it going to happen? I don't know. When is it going to happen?
What's the thing in your arm?
Prescient? Yeah. Right. I don't know. It's just, at this point, it's, you know, and I haven't done any reading, analysis, economies, any of that kind of stuff. It's just a feeling. Strictly a feeling that something's going to happen. And again, in a place like Eleuthera that is so dependent on tourist dollars, if they don't brand themselves properly before that hits, they could end up with a major economic problem. And, you know, I tried to do something about that. Again, you know, tourism's up 138%, but nobody. And I've gone all the way to, I actually have the Minister of Tourism's private email. I've emailed him plenty of times. Nothing. No response even. So I guess they're going with Lenny Kravitz instead. Can you imagine? Me or Lenny Kravitz? I don't know.